Alrighty, so I'm back. This is We the People News. Okay, a little bit later than I thought it would be. This video is without prejudice and or without recourse, okay? I'm not an attorney, I'm not going to give legal advice, okay? I may or may not give my opinion, but it's only opinion. I'm not going to give legal advice. Why? Because I'm not an attorney. Now, that being said, y'all, I never look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary. I had to stop this last video due to I had to go to town, and I will not go to town without a recording. And I'm using my phone as a recording. And I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm actually recording my TV on my cell phone for this, okay? Because I don't have all this fancy stuff. I just make do with what I make do, believe it or not, okay? I got a PVC pipe holding this in place that's mounted to my bed to hook to the TV. That's what you call rigging it up. Alrighty, anyway, let's go ahead and proceed forward, people.
We have the issue of uncertified records because she wasn't certified at the time. She is right now, and I assume will be unless and until JBCC gives a final order. So there would need to be some direction from Ms. Rico on transcripts during that period when she was uncertified, what to do with those.
Yeah, I don't know that we can do that. Are you saying like what she needs to do so she gets a transcript request for October 15th of 2021 when her license was lapsed how she's supposed to handle that and what she's supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I don't want to just, tell the lawyers we don't know, but I don't know if I don't know. But go ahead, and I don't know who answers that question.
Yeah, if I could jump in, I can't answer it, but I can kind of give insight as to what, my discussion has been with Tarrant County at least, and that's been that it's been a collective effort, between judges, attorneys, court reporters to kind of, ensure that these cases are not having issues in the appeals and that, Ms. Rico has been giving the audio and the notes to everyone. So I think that the court has been the one that has given some direction to her as to what to do, as well as her, voluntarily offering this all up. I don't know what they're going to do with every single transcript. I only spoke to one judge, but, that's my understanding. That's kind of a county-wide thing is that, I don't know that I would say the word wanting, but that they're having other reporters certify and transcribe this against her notes or her audio, which again, she was the one that, offered that at first before being asked.
I know we have I mentioned this a long time ago. When we were going through our code of ethics, we have a form in our UFM for another person, one reporter to certify another reporter's notes. But absent a court order, I'm not sure that we have a statute or a rule to go behind that, if that makes sense. So perhaps if the judge of those courts is ordering the other reporter to do it, that solves that problem. But that would only apply to the window of time that she was not certified. If we make a recommendation and JBCC does give a final order, the end of the year, this time that she's certified right now, she will still be able to certify those records.
Ms. Rico, let me ask you this real quick. You, from the end of May, beginning of June of 2021 until January of 2022, you were reporting without your license. What happened in January of 2022 that you then went to renew and get certified and that, like, what happened then?
Well, because of what I was going through, I decided that maybe freelancing would be a better option for me so that I can have some flexibility to still be able to work and deal with what I was going through at the time. And when I went to try to accept a job, they asked me, you know, if I was certified because they had looked me up, and I said yes, and they said, well, we can't find you. So I went to do a search of myself to show that I was certified because I believed myself to be certified, and then I saw that I wasn't. And so I took action immediately.
Why did you think that you got the renewal notice, and then you told us earlier, you know, life was happening and you didn't get around to it and everything. I mean, why did you think that you would have been renewed if you didn't do anything to renew? That's what I'm struggling with, and that's what I'm having a hard time with.
Without really giving too much detail about what was taking place at the time, all I can say is that I forgot, you know,
Okay.
my mind just
Okay.
really, you know, and that's my.
That's okay. And Ms. Rico, please, I don't. The point of this exercise is to not delve into your private, into your personal life and everything. And please understand that's not what I'm trying to do. And I'm just trying to get a sense of understanding, and I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be heard here today. And again, I want you to know where my struggles are and in what I have. And so, yeah, Kim, Debbie, revocation, I do believe for a period of time is appropriate. I was leaning a little more towards 3 years because I would hate to lose a good and qualified court reporter and somebody that wants to continue in this profession, you know, because of something. But you know, I'm just balancing all of the things. You know, anyway, that's kind of where I am. But I'm not gonna. If you guys are inclined for 5, I'm not gonna fight you guys on it too much, I guess is what I'm saying. Kim, how long were you thinking?
I was actually thinking 5 for each complaint.
Oh.
I keep thinking about the far-reaching ramifications of this, and for how long the county's going to have to jump through hoops, you know, but...
So that's 45 years?
No, that would be 10 years.
5 and 5, sorry.
Years.
I thought you meant for each violation. I was like, what are...
No, 5 for this and 5 for 0425.
Got it, okay.
But, you know, I can see your point, Molly, and as well, you know, she's in good standing. Ms. Rico, you're in good standing as far, are you still working at the courthouse? Let me ask that question.
No, not in Tarrant County.
Not in Tarrant County. Anywhere? Are you subbing?
In Dallas.
In Dallas, okay. That's right, I remember that now. I don't know, Debbie, what do you think? Well, but there were how many counties though? I mean, if you did that, pardon? No, I said that's true. You know, I think rather than counties, I'm thinking, you know, she did it for 7 months. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, none of it is right. But what's more egregious, someone who is attested, although she needed to pay the money and show she took continuing education, you know, how does that compare to, say, a firm that sends out a digital reporter to push a button and, send it to the cloud or someone else to transcribe that we don't even know who they are. And, we can't get anything done about that so far. But yet we know it's happening. We know firms are doing that. So.
But that's not what is in front of us right now.
I'm saying compare the egregiousness of that. I understand that's not in front of us right now. I'm inclined to, Molly, I'm inclined to agree with you. I will. May I make a motion?
Always.
I would recommend 3 years revocation, and find all of staff's recommendations of what the violations are, with the exception of the Oklahoma, for not disclosing that she had been, I know that, I don't know how to word this, Molly.
I'll put it together. Go ahead. I'm taking notes.
Maybe I won't make this actual motion. I'll brainstorm what a motion might be. That might be a better way to say it. For not disclosing that she let the Oklahoma lapse and didn't disclose that on her renewal. She never worked there. She was a student when she got it. To me, that's not anything like what's happening today. And that after, so instead of the $4,500, it'd be $4,000 in 3 years, and and the money due within 1 year after the date of the final order by JBCC, and that after that time she would, if she wanted to come back into the field, she would have to go through all the application and retesting and everything again. Is that what you were thinking, Molly?
Yeah, as far as the money goes, and I get what you're saying. So you would drop it from 4,500 to 4,000. Kim, what do you think?
I agree with the motion. I guess, is there any way to, I guess there's no way to require that she continues to work with the counties to, to get these transcripts out when requested through another court reporter who was certified, or get the attorneys to agree. I guess there's no way to really.
I mean, I don't know that we have the authority to do that, but my guess is that Ms. Rico appreciates this situation and would understand that if she were to reapply with us, that whatever review committee, or not review committee, but whatever, whoever reviews that application in the future obviously would take that into consideration, I think.
Yeah.
But
no, I agree.
May I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
When I learned that I was expired, and I knew that it was wrong, and I knew that I had to do everything that I could to remedy it. Nobody had to ask me to do that. Nobody had to have a conversation with me to tell me that I needed to do everything that I could to make this right. And I've done exactly that. And if you need to put in that order, whatever it is that you decide to make, then I agree to that. I graciously agree to that. I don't take these situations lightly. It's been a nightmare for me. It's been embarrassing, to say the least. I've had to put my face out there after working so hard to get to where I wanted to be. This is all I've ever wanted to do. I've made sacrifices to get to where I'm at, but I don't need to be told that I need to do something when it comes down to it, because I know within my mind and within my heart that this is the right thing to do.
Ms. Rico, I appreciate that very much, and that was what you said it better than I did, and that's what I was trying to say, is that you have not struck me as a person that needs to be told, or that we would need to include anything like that, and that we appreciate you would continue to work with the counties as needed and as you could. And I don't know, I guess I don't like the $4,000. I get it. I understand. I'm not saying no money. I would be willing to cut it in half and drop it to 2,000. I agree with you, Debbie. I think the Oklahoma thing is a little kind of an outlier deal. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking at the, I guess it's 6.6, it's number 2, violation number 2, JBCC 6.6, renewal of certification or registration. They must disclose whether they've been a subject of disciplinary action or licensing authority.
Right.
I'm willing to drop that one out and find on what we have of 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Assess $250 fines for each of those, and a revocation of 3 years would sort of be the parameters in which that would be my recommendation. Kim, you hate it?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. With that, I think I'm going to make a motion. And the motion is as follows. The pending motion would be that we find or accept the staff recommendation with respect to the violations outlined in 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And having found those violations, it's our recommendation that certification be revoked for a period of 3 years after the date of the final order, and an administrative penalty of $250 is assessed for each violation, for a total of $2,000 due within 1 year after the final order. That is the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kim. Is there any further discussion?
Thank you.
Okay. I saw it going.
I'm thinking on other unrelated cases, far different circumstances, and recommendations were, probated suspensions. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be soft on this, but I don't, kind of like in criminal court, let the punishment fit the crime. I know this isn't, that, but.
I hear you. And I think that we've got to take it as we, as it comes, and different circumstances allow for different results.
I'll tell you, we had something similar happen when I sat on the board of the CRCB years ago. And I just simply cannot remember what we voted to do. But I think it was something very similar to what we're discussing. But that was a long time ago, and my memory is just not that good.
not to open a whole can of worms right now, but does this probated suspension allow her to continue to transcribe and work on these records? I mean, well, hang on. Before we dive down that rabbit hole, I mean, the issue is that if she's not certified at the time and then it gets kicked back, the chances of them allowing her to do it now certified, I just don't know.
Well, I almost think that that's going to be, as Kim said, more of the courts making those decisions. Like if it's an inaccurate record, that's not for us to do. That's for the courts to resolve. And I think that might be, I would anticipate that to be how they would be handled in the future. You know, you may have, courts, parties agree to let her do it. You may, and waive any error. You may have, I don't know, you may have,
I don't know.
I can't, say what courts may do.
I don't know about all the counties, but it's my impression that Tarrant County, and I think Ms. Rico would agree, is that they're not going to utilize her any longer. And so that's why they're looking at it, the court reporters. And so I highly doubt that, rather, I'm 99% sure that Tarrant County has already made the decision to not allow her to transcribe any of the records or certify them as of now. I don't know if that's going to be forever, but when I spoke to the county and multiple people, that seemed to be the trend that was happening. I did not speak, however, to the other counties because I would need some sort of starting point. I don't have that. I didn't have that for any of the other counties outside of Collin and Tarrant. Collin did not give that impression off, though.
Collin did not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what?
Collin did not. However, that's not to say that the discussion amongst them would say that they wouldn't utilize her either. Tarrant County was the only one that verbalized that level of. I think the word was disappointment. And so that's why they wouldn't utilize her again.
Molly and Debbie, I also want to point out the section where the assistant criminal district attorney, at least at the time of this document, they were still investigating whether criminal charges would be filed.
Mm-hmm.
And that the criminal inquiry is currently pending. And again, that's very serious.
Yeah. The motion that we have is said much better, but it's 3 years revocation and a $2,000 fine and no finding on the Oklahoma. That's been taken out.
Are you still wanting to do full revocation?
Yes.
I do.
No, no, I don't want to, but I don't know what else to do. I don't, I always struggle with taking somebody's livelihood away and those, but
Mm-hmm.
but and we can't try to predict the future, and we can't try to look into the future about additional complaints that we're going to get, whether they're going to be from, Kim was talking about inmates and folks out on bond or folks not out on bond, or, et cetera, et cetera. We don't know how far it goes, and I don't, and we can't do it, but we got to base it on the information that we have in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And the information that we have in front of us is that consistently for 7 months, she was reporting without a license and forgot to renew, had the renewal notice and then just didn't. And it wasn't until, freelancing that that it was caught, and rightfully so. She corrected it immediately and has done her best to untangle a lot of, as best she can to help and assist in those types of things. And I think that, Ms. Rico, that's gone very far for us, and that's why my recommendation is less than that's being recommended.
Do we also, isn't there also some mention that when she filed, she did not respond to the complaint?
Yes, filed? I mean, yeah, when our folks reached out.
Yeah. I'm glad she's here though. That's excellent. That helps a lot.
I didn't respond to the complaint because I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know how to convey the embarrassment and the shame that I felt then and that I still feel now, because it's not going to go away. Regardless of what is decided, and regardless of whatever punishment I have to take, and I have to accept, this is never going to go away. I'm always going to have to live with it within my career. And I didn't know how to respond then, and I really didn't know how to respond now. I didn't just accept that I'm guilty.
And I think that goes a long way, Ms. Rico. And I do think, you will get past this, and you'll learn from it and move on. And, the fact that you're here means a lot. Let me just say that.
And I appreciate your comments. Debbie Kim.
No, I don't take being a court reporter as just being a court reporter. I take being a court reporter very seriously. When I sit in that chair and I sit behind that machine to get ready to take a record, I am serious more than, I don't know how I can parallel it or what I can parallel it with, but what we do is important. We make a difference. We affect law. We affect change. We affect what is implemented within our Constitution, within our judicial system. Being a court reporter is everything to me. It's the only thing that I know. I work so hard for it.
Yes, ma'am. Debbie Kim, the current motion is as it is. Are we ready to take a vote, or is there any more discussion?
No discussion here.
Debbie?
Hang on. I'm chewing on this. I know we have a lot to do today, but this is important to Ms. Rico too.
Absolutely.
I just want to add one more thing. If an electronic recording is put in a court, they take that electronic recording and they give it to a certified reporter to produce that document. And they may or may not be able to produce a good document, not because of them themselves, but because the recording may not be up to par to what an actual reporter can do while sitting there. Yes, I'm guilty of taking these records with an expired license, but I am also guilty of being willing to hand over those recordings for someone else to make eligible. They're ineligible by me because I wasn't certified at the time, but they're not completely ineligible. It doesn't make them completely invalid.
Alrighty, hate to do this, but time's running out on this phone. Apparently it lets me record. Well, maybe we can record a little bit more.
I understand that reasoning totally, but I think a judge would have to make that determination
Yeah.
on case by case basis. So
Yeah, that's not something that we don't have authority to make that decision, Ms. Rico.
Right.
Well, I think y'all can tell this is hard for me. We need good reporters, but we also need people to, we are the guardians of the record. When everybody's gone, we're the only ones that they can trust. They trust us with the evidence. They trust us with, the lights are out and what we have, that's all that's left. And, people's life and liberty depends on it. And they need to be able to know that, anyway, I'm ready to vote.
The pending motion is for a recommendation of a finding on 8 of the 9 violations. The Oklahoma licensure issue excluded 3 years of revocation and a fine of $2,000 to be paid within a year of the final order. That is the motion that has been seconded. We are now ready to take a vote on that motion. All in favor of that being a recommendation to the JBCC, please say aye. Aye.
With regret, aye.
hold on a second, I just thought of something.
Okay.
October.
Alrighty. Got to jump to the next one, y'all. Diesel Week People News.